obligation of women covering and veiling themselves in front of male strangers. Law also makes clear in this ayat that wearing hijab is pure for the hearts of men and women and keeps them distant from immorality and its causes. He also indicates that unveiling and not wearing the proper hijab is filthy and impure, whereas wearing the hijab denotes purity and cleanliness. So, O gathering of Muslims, abide by Allah's guidelines and follow His orders, and require from your women that they observe the hijab, which is the source of purity and means for success. Allah says, O Prophet, tell your wives and your daughters and believing women to cast their jalabi, jilbab, I think that's what they're trying to spell, upon themselves, their bodies. That is better that they should be known so as not to be bothered. And Allah is ever all forgiving, most merciful. Surah Al-Ahzab 59. What it says, jalabib, is a plural of jilbab. Okay, it's the plural form of jilbab. And it refers to a garment that a woman places on her head and body over her outer garments in order to cover and veil herself. Allah has commanded all of the Muslim women to cast their jilbab over their body parts, such as their hair, face, and so on, so that they may be known to their chastity and thus not be put to trial or others to trial, which them leads to harm. Ali bin Abi Talib Talha Ali bin Abi Talha reported from Ibn Abbas rahimahullah that he said Allah has commanded the believing women when they come out of their homes due to a necessity to cover their faces by placing their jilbab over their heads and only expose one eye. So this is clear proof that the niqab, not necessarily niqab, I mean, we got to understand, they didn't say a niqab is an obligation. To cover your face is an obligation, and one thing that we know that we use to cover our faces are what? The niqab. Muhammad bin Sirin said, I asked Ubaidah as-Sulmini about Allah saying to cast their jilbab upon themselves. So he veiled his face and head and only exposed his left eye. Then Allah informs us that He is ever oft forgiving, forging, and most merciful concerning what has occurred in the past from falling short in this matter, before having been forbidden and warned about it. Allah says, as for the Qawaid, old women past childbearing age, amongst women who do not expect wedlock, there is no harm upon them if they discard their outer garments in such a way as not to show off their adornment, tabarruj, but to refrain, not to discard the outer clothing, is better for them. And Allah is the all-hearing, the all-knowing. Surah An-Nur, verse 60. Allah informs us that there is no sin upon the elderly women who are those women past the age of childbearing and not looking to get married, to remove the outer garments from covering their faces and hands on the condition that they do not intend indecent exposure of their adornment. So it is understood from this that a woman who indecently exposes her adornment is not permitted to remove her garment from covering her face, hands, and other parts of her beauty. If she does this, she will be sinning, even though she may be elderly past the age of childbearing. This is a sense indecent exposure. Tabarruj leads to fitna on the part of the woman that unveils herself, even if she may be elderly and past the age of childbearing. So what is the condition with the young and beautiful women when she indecently exposes herself? Indeed, the sin is greater on her, and the fitna temptation caused by her is more severe. Furthermore, Allah places a condition on these elderly women past the age of childbearing, which is that they not be from these women, those women who seek and anticipate marriage. And this is Allah, and Allah knows best. It's only because her seeking and anticipating marriage will cause her to beautify and expose herself in order to influence potential suitors. So this type of woman has been forbidden from removing her outer garments that cover her body parts in order to safeguard her and other women besides her from fitna. Then Allah finishes the ayah by insisting these women to refrain from to refrain from discarding their garments, explaining that it is better for them, even though they may not be showing off their adornment. This shows the great merit behind women veiling and covering themselves with outer garments. Even though they may be from amongst the elderly women past the age of childbearing, and it shows that it is better for them than discarding their outer garments. So this necessitates the understanding that veiling and refraining from revealing one's adornment is better for the young females for all the more reason, and that it brings them further away from the causes of the fitna. So I'm going to stop right here, inshallah, and I'm going to continue on probably later in another video. But alhamdulillah, this is a great benefit, just understanding the severeness of covering the face. Allah has commanded for the women to cover their bodies. And it's a sin if you think otherwise. It's not a sin to think otherwise, but it's a sin to not want to cover yourself properly. It's a sin to not cover yourself properly. It's sad to say that now in times, like the book, reading in the book, it is forbidden for a woman that's knowing that she wants to get married and anticipates on getting married to not cover her face. Why? Because when she's anticipating to get married, she beautifies herself. She makes herself look more beautiful than she would if she wasn't anticipating marriage. Why? Because she wants the attention. She wants to be seen. And Allah made the women for them to be modest, not to be seen. Subhanallah. So we have to understand that this causes a grave fitna amongst the men and women when you're not covering properly. And it goes into tabarruj. And there's a lot of women now burning in Jahannam, the hellfire, for tabarruj. Read about it, inshallah. But I'm going to continue on later, and inshallah we can all benefit. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka atubu alayk.